This is KSUT Public Radio. Regional news is next. Summer travel season is wrapping up in resort destinations across the region. The numbers show things went better than expected, but as the Mountain West News Bureau's Rachel Cohen reports, economic uncertainty is still a driving force.
A few months ago, it wasn't clear how many tourists would come to mountain towns in the West to hike, play golf, or attend festivals this summer. A report said hotel and rental bookings were the slowest since the COVID-19 pandemic. But by now, Chris Romer can say things are looking firmly okay.
We're not setting records, but we're up slightly over last year. It's a little bit turbulent. It's a little bit of a wild ride.
Romer is the president and CEO of the Vail Valley Partnership in Colorado. He says more visitors this summer made their travel plans last minute, perhaps watching the fluctuating news on tariffs. Romer says the hazy picture likely isn't going away soon. So heading into ski season, he says communities like his should focus on what they can control, like service, value, and prices. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Rachel Cohen.
The Trump administration is trying to revoke the EPA's landmark endangerment finding that climate pollution is a health threat. The Mountain West News Bureau's Hannah Merzbach reports that thousands are fighting the proposed change.
That includes Reverend Clara Sims, a leader of a group mobilizing New Mexicans of faith for climate justice.
Reversing the foundational, peer-reviewed, and consensus-driven science that makes up the 2009 endangerment finding is morally and ethically bankrupt.
Sims and others say the endangerment finding protects people and the environment from vehicle and power plant emissions. The Trump administration says it's being used to justify over $1 trillion in regulations, including former President Biden's electric vehicle policies. And the move will reinstate customer choice for auto buyers. The Attorney Generals of New Mexico, Arizona, and Colorado testified against the change. The final rule is expected before the end of the year. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Hannah Merzbach.
Most of the millions of people who visit Las Vegas probably don't think twice about water conservation, but residents do. And for years now, the city's water authority has been patrolling the streets, one of many efforts across the region to make sure water isn't wasted. Yvette Fernandez brings us this feature story.
Devin Chokol drives through a Las Vegas neighborhood with lights flashing on her patrol car. She stops when she sees water flowing down the street. Chokol is one of nearly 24 investigators who patrol Las Vegas every day, looking for any signs of water waste.
Water Waste Investigator 9393.
She records what she sees.
At 6:14 a.m.
In this case, a common issue, a spray and flow violation.
Misaligned sprinklers and over-irrigation causing some runoff, and water's making its way from the property and down the gutter.
Las Vegas relies on water from the Colorado River, and so do millions of other people throughout the 7 states that make up the Colorado River Basin. The river's levels have dropped over the years, and drought, exacerbated by climate change, has been constant for decades.
It's a drought, and it's a slow-moving type of natural disaster.
This is Bronson Mack. He's a spokesperson for the Southern Nevada Water Authority.
You don't realize you're in a drought until you're already about waist deep. And it was 2002 when the Colorado River was waist deep in drought.
So in 2003, the Southern Nevada Water Authority started water conservation efforts, including the Water Patrol. Since then, the Water Authority has conducted nearly 500,000 water waste investigations. Max says at the beginning, the Water Patrol handed out citations to about 20% of residents.
As we look at that today, we're closer to 10% or less of property owners that have a water waste investigation take place at their property that end up receiving a fee.
The fees start at $80 for the first violation and keep doubling if the problem isn't fixed. The collected fees are used to support other water conservation efforts, like turf removal incentives and rebates for installing smart irrigation systems. Other cities with robust water conservation efforts include Phoenix, San Antonio, Santa Monica, and Miami-Dade.
In order for us to sustain a dependable, affordable water supply, we will need to continue to lean more heavily into these water-saving strategies.
That's Ron Burke. He's the CEO and president of the nonprofit Alliance for Water Effectiveness. Burke says these all-in comprehensive water conservation efforts will help communities adapt to climate change. These programs also help educate residents and encourage people to take their own steps, like reuse their gray water to water plants. In Las Vegas, Cholco pulls her patrol car up to another house with a common problem.
You can see heavy water runoff from the property due to the irrigation leak.
Water flows onto the sidewalk instead of going into the roots of a desert plant. Cholco calls this a malfunction.
Malfunctions can cause a lot of water waste in general just because of the potential for them to get so much worse so quickly.
That's why when a malfunction is spotted, Cholco doesn't just put a yellow flag in the ground about the problem. She looks up the history and notifies the team, who will follow up with a phone call. The Southern Nevada Water Authority offers leak detection support and financial assistance for qualified low-income residents so they can make the necessary repairs. But Cholco says repeat violators face a penalty.
This property has been previously notified of the violation, so a fee is recommended.
The Water Patrol, along with recycling water, has paid off, explains Bronson Mack with the Water Authority.
We have reduced our consumption of Colorado River water by more than 30% over the past 2 decades.
Max says that's happened all while the city's population has grown. He says Las Vegas now supplies less water to more people than the city did 20 years ago. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Yvette Fernandez, stationed at KNPR in Las Vegas.
We have one more report in today's regional news segment here on KSUT. This one from the Colorado Capital News Alliance. Colorado Democrats want to boost state funding for SNAP food assistance during this week's special legislative session after federal support was rolled back this summer. KUNC's Lucas Brady Woods has more.
They want to repurpose some of the revenue the state collects for its free school meal program. To do that, Democrats are trying to tweak 2 ballot measures headed to voters in November. If they pass, the measures would increase how much money for school meals the state can raise and retain. Democrats are trying to pass a bill that would amend the measures so they would also allow leftover funds to be used for SNAP. Senator Daphne Michelson-Janay is one of the bill's sponsors.
The education community and the county community would be the hardest hit if we did not fill the healthy school meals for all and the SNAP benefits.
Republicans argue it's too soon to rely on ballot measures that haven't passed. They say the state could come up with the money needed for SNAP by cutting other areas of the budget.
That was Lucas Brady Woods reporting for the Colorado Capital News Alliance. Content produced by the Colorado Capital News Alliance is funded in part by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Support for local and regional news on KSUT Public Radio also comes from the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority. They sponsor homebuyer education classes in English and Spanish and also offer down payment and closing cost assistance through their statewide network of lenders. More information is at chfainfo.com. CHFA, an equal housing lender.
Support for public policy reporting comes from the Gay and Lesbian Fund for Colorado, promoting programs designed to ensure all Coloradans have the same opportunity to thrive. More information is online at gayandlesbianfund.org.